and this is the flag of Occupy Nashville, and she would like that to go up as part of our decor here. And greetings from Occupy Nashville. And let us take a round of applause for all the occupations across the world. We are the 99%, and we are strong, and we are growing, and we are not going away. And if anybody here would like to volunteer to put that up somewhere appropriate, that would be really good. And take a picture, you'd love a picture if you could upload that perhaps onto the website. Okay, we have a volunteer. Please come and get the flag. Okay. Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, so let me just, I'm sorry for those of you who've heard this all before, but I think it's really important that we start every meeting to explain to those of you who haven't been before what the process is. We are operating direct democracy by consensus. Is there anyone here who'd like to come and explain the hand signals? Okay, yes, we have a volunteer. So, in order to make meetings work effectively, keep your points positive and proactive. Please try not to repeat the points that were made before. And we have some quite important hand signals, which if you're not familiar with them, my friend here is about to come and explain.
Signal number one is, if you put your finger up like that, it means you'd like to speak. If you put your finger up like that, it means you'd like to speak. I want everybody do that, no shouting out. If you can't hear, do that. If you have a technical point, which is not about the subject of the conversation, but like a tent is on fire, or some information was given out wrong, like we'll see you at 4 o'clock, but actually it's 5. Is that right? Technical point? If you have a point which is directly relating to something that someone's just said and you'd like to jump the queue, queue jumping. This is if you agree with what's being said. It's a really nice one. I feel good when I do it. Yeah. And if you really disagree, it's that one. Some of you know more than me. Why didn't you volunteer?
All right, and it really helps when people are speaking. If you agree with what they're saying, then let them know that you agree with what they're saying, okay? And if you want to address the meeting, you need to come and speak to Amy, and she will help to facilitate that for you. Okay, so I hope that there is someone here to update us from Finsbury Square. Okay, if there is somebody here to update us from Finsbury Square, can they make their way here, please? A couple of things that you need to know about the process tomorrow. Working groups generally meet at 10 o'clock. There is a process group, and the process group are the sort of people helping to organise ourselves, and they'll be meeting at 10 o'clock and again at 5 o'clock, and the process group at 5 o'clock will set the agenda for this meeting tomorrow night. I have also been asked to share something with you all, and this is really important, people. There are lots of people watching us and the way that we conduct ourselves, and there have been some issues about, let me just describe it as antisocial behaviour. And it has been a long-going discussion, and there is a meeting tomorrow at 6 o'clock to discuss making this a drugs and alcohol-free zone. This is something that has happened in other Occupy zones. Finsbury Square have declared themselves to be a drug and alcohol-free zone. I do not propose that we discuss it at the meeting tonight, because this is a political meeting and we're going to talk about politics tonight. But if this is something that concerns you, the meeting will be at 6 o'clock tomorrow. And if you are here, can I ask you to please respect that there are many people at this camp who are camping out here at night and going to work every morning, and they need a good night's sleep. And we have to police ourselves together and look after ourselves together in our new society. And please, will everybody cooperate with that? Thank you very much. Okay, so let us, the other meeting I have to advise you of is that there is a group who want to discuss the revision of the initial statement, and I will read the initial statement at the end of this meeting, because it's quite uplifting to finish the meeting on that point. So if you are interested in discussing the revision of the initial statement, that meeting will be at 5 o'clock tomorrow. As with all things, this should be communicated through the information tent. Okay, this is the point in the meeting where we are welcoming updates from working groups and from Finsbury Park. I will ask people to keep their reports back for a minute. And just so that you know what the agenda is, once we've had those reports back from the working groups, we have a proposal about outreach, and then there will be discussion groups for half an hour, and then there'll be a brief report back from that, and then after that will be shout-outs. If you want to make a shout-out, Amy is the woman you need to speak to. Thank you. Do we have a working group update, please?
Okay, good evening. My name's Alan, working in the tech tent around the corner. A few points. You might already know, but our wiki is up at occupywiki.co.uk. You're all welcome to use it. We have sub-pages for Occupy St Paul's and Occupy Finsbury Square. I've been over to Finsbury Square. One of the things the tech team are really requesting there are tables and more laptops. Anyone wants to donate a laptop or go over there and help with the live stream, that would be really appreciated. We're setting up forums for people in the working groups here, so if any of you want to be involved in that or want a forum for your working group, come over and see me after the meeting. We'll set that up for you. We have a printer, an industrial printer now in the tent, so if any of you have got posters or you've got information you need printed out, come and see me. And one final request, if anyone has access to a biofuel generator, that'd be really useful. Thank you all.
Okay, it's not Finsbury Park, it's Finsbury Square. It's absolutely lovely. It's a lovely big square of grass. It's a bit quieter than here. We've got about, I don't know, perhaps 60 small tents and one lovely big marquee. It's actually the kitchen marquee that got blown down in the gale a couple of days ago, and it's now looking absolutely magnificent. We've got beautiful banners all around already. It's very mellow. So and I would have thought if somebody wants a quiet night, you've got to get to work in the morning. It might be a good idea to just check out how Finsbury Square feels. I'm just going to ask Chris here, my colleague here, the other Chris, to just say a few things about some of the things which we need and about the kitchen concretely. Chris.
We only really need tables and chairs and things like that brought over there. Like, there's loads of food. There's another kitchen like we've got running here. Yeah, just some more tables. If you know anyone that's got tables, you can bring them down. Comfy cushions, things like that. It's a nice quiet space that we've got over there. Anyone's welcome, like as here. That's about it, I think. I know the kitchen here as well is still running smoothly. There's hot food constantly. Yeah, everything's good.
Perhaps just say that in our dreams, in my dream anyway, we kind of bud out a bit, and we kind of bud out so that we're this side of the Bank of England, or the other side of the Bank of England, maybe another one the other side, and maybe 4 or 5 around the Bank of England, building up to kind of doing some like magical spells around the whole Bank of England, and maybe towards November the 9th and November the 30th. And especially, obviously, the first one is Halloween. Let's spook them.
Hello everyone. Hello. I'm representing a working group set up on Tuesday. We call ourselves EEE, which stands for Energy, Equality, Environment. And we firmly believe that climate change should be at the core of this movement. We have spent the last few days putting together a text that I agree is by no means perfect, but we think that should be included in the initial statement somehow. And I'm just gonna read that up to you now. Yeah. The present unjust and exploitative economic system also pollutes land, sea and air. is causing massive loss of natural species and environments, and is accelerating humanity towards irreversible global warming. We call upon individuals, organizers, and governments to co-create a sustainable economic system that benefits present and future generations. If anyone, ideally I would like to put this to a vote on this General Assembly for it to be included in the initial statement, but I understand it might not happen tonight. This group is meeting again on Wednesday afternoon, and we also run an email list that anyone who wants to be involved in that email list can come and speak to me at any point now.
Just so you know, there is a working group focusing on revision of the initial statement, if that's what you meant. That's the statement.
I know. We're meeting them tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I know they're meeting tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Yeah, if you know that, sorry. So, yeah, that's everything. Thanks a lot. Okay, before I go, can I just quickly have a vote? Who is in favour of this and who thinks a good idea that it should be included in the initial statement?
Read it again.
Read it again? Yeah. Okay, sorry. The present unjust and exploitative economic system also pollutes land, sea and air, is causing massive loss of natural species and environments, and is accelerating humanity towards irreversible global warming. We call upon individuals, organizations and governments to co-create a sustainable economic system that benefits present and future generations. I think that needs to be included because there's a massive favour of this. And I think...
Excuse me, is your block not something that could be discussed at their meeting tomorrow?
I would just like to raise it as a point of consideration then now.
I will give you
30 seconds.
There's no consensus.
This should be a movement for political power. In order to attain that, we need coherent messages. Anything elected with people like us in charge would naturally have incredibly good green credentials. Do not dilute the message. This is a message and a movement for change. For change will then empower the green movement. Do not overcomplicate the put-in.
Can I reply to that?
Okay.
Quickly, can I make quick messages?
You have 10 seconds.
If everyone looks at the Wall Street movement that created this movement, you will see that green credential, acting on climate change, acting on a road towards future oil that's running out, is a core of that movement. That's why it should be a core of the London movement too. Thank you very much.
Okay, bear with us, folks. This is direct democracy, and we allow a plurality of views. Do we have any more updates? Okay. There was not consensus at that point, I agree.
Okay, everyone, this isn't a formal update from an actual working group, but my name's Michael. I'm from the National Campaign Against Fees and Cuts, and we are the organisation that's organising one of the many organisations that's organising the National Student Demo on November the 9th. It's going to be the next big march in London. It's incredibly important. We will be marching on the city, and Occupy London Stock Exchange has given us some real political weight, and we're hoping that we can do the same for you. And what we did today was we had our London regional meeting. It was small but productive, and we have come up with a few action points that I'd like to see a temperature check on to kind of concretise the solidarity work and the practical work that we're doing with you and that you're doing with us and that we are doing together, since we're kind of the same thing. And basically, there are 4 points that I've come here to ask temperature check. Firstly, everyone here lives, at least when they don't live here, they live somewhere else, and you all have local schools, and we need to organise mass school student walkouts in order to build a demonstration, and we have thousands and thousands of students on the streets. So, what we're asking for is help leafleting in local schools, where you're from, in order to build walkouts there. So, temperature check on that. Good. Anybody massively disagree with organising walkouts from schools? Good. Okay. Happy with that. The other thing that we're asking for is help with press coverage, because you guys have an absolutely enormous amount of press coverage going on right now, and given that the 9th of November National Student Demonstration is one of the things that's going to happen in the city very, very soon. It's the next kind of big thing in terms of mass dissent in Britain on the 9th of November. We'll be working with press teams in order to make sure that our stuff goes through your press teams and your stuff goes through our press teams. Consensus on that? Temperature check? Anybody massively disagree with us and you cooperating in terms of press? No, good. Okay, third thing very quickly, fly posting all over London for the national demo. We'll be able to deliver quite cool, snazzy, arty posters designed by students for the national demo to here on Tuesday, and we'd like teams of people going around central London, students and occupiers, sticking them up everywhere. Consensus on that? Great. Also, anybody massively disagree with fly posting? Great. And fourthly, one of the things that we'd like to moot, and this is a more strategic political thing, is I'm sorry, I've probably overstayed my minute here. This is the last thing I'm going to say, is that essentially what you've seen across Europe is that a lot of the sort of town square occupations, which there have been a lot of students in, and there are a lot of students here today, have said, look, we've occupied our town squares, let's keep that going, and let's occupy our campuses. Now, after the 9th of November National Student Demo, there will be a lot of mobilised, politicised students again, and the idea is to hold another wave of campus occupations. So what we're thinking of doing is coordinating a call for campus occupations from the National Campaign Against Fees and Cuts, from various other student groups, and from the Occupy London Stock Exchange movement to go and occupy campuses. Can I see consensus on that? Anybody massively disagree with that? Good, that's all 4 consensus points. Please listen to further announcements at future general meetings in terms of how to get involved exactly. But thank you very much. Cheers.
And we're about to get an update from the Outreach Working Group, and I would just like to emphasise to the Outreach Working Group that the nature of tonight's discussion is to help them.
Okay, yeah, this is just a brief report back. We had, I hope you'll all agree, a successful outreach assembly on Saturday afternoon. We'll be producing a new leaflet with up-and-coming events this week, including 10th City Youth Programme. We've got a proposal for a meeting and outreach event for Thursday around 5 p.m. for people, for workplace struggles, people in workplaces to come and meet and have an event here. And we want to organise outreach training for people who want to speak at other places like colleges or workplaces or community groups. So we're planning to produce some material for people, if they're stuck for what to say, come to us for advice and training.
I've been asked by the facilitator to kind of clarify a question that's just come through. About the 9th of November National Student Demo, we are meeting, the meeting point is 12 noon at the University of London Union on Mallet Street in Bloomsbury. University of London Union on Mallet Street in Bloomsbury, 12 noon on the day, and we'll be marching on the city. We are in negotiations with the police tomorrow. The police have already told us that they may be looking to put a ban on our protest going into the Square Mile. So we will be looking to the Occupy LXX movement again for solidarity when we tell them that whatever we do, it is likely to happen anyway. Cheers.
Okay, just to remind those of you who've come a bit late to the meeting, this is the point where I'm going to suggest some ideas for us to discuss. Experience tells us that 10 is about the right size for a group to discuss. And then you have half an hour to talk about it, and then we'll ask one person from each group, if they want to feed back with their 3 key points. After that, we will have shout-outs. So if there's something, you're organising something, or you want to express solidarity with something, or you've lost your wallet, then come and talk to Amy, and you will get your chance at the microphone at the end of the meeting. Is everybody happy with that? Okay, thank you. All right, so the theme of tonight's political meeting, the General Assembly is a political meeting. and we want to talk about politics. In support of the outreach group, the process group thought that outreach was an important thing for us to consider tonight. How are we outreaching? Is there more that we can do? What can you do as an individual? What can we do as different groups of individuals? So I'm going to read out some different suggestions that were made at the process group, and as I do, I'd like to take a temperature check on them to see that we'll have them as discussion points. Is that okay? All right, here we go. Outreach. Workplace outreach. Outreaching to other people. Temperature check means help me. You either no or yes. Hang on. Young people. Faith groups. Unemployed people. Pensioners. Universities. Social networks. Okay, I'm just going to read through that list again, and what would be really helpful if one person would stand up to help to facilitate that group, and that group will assemble around that person. Are you ready? Okay. Who wants to discuss workplace outreach? Okay, stand up. Okay, so the workplace outreach group will happen here. Young people. Who would like to facilitate that group? This gentleman over here. Stand up, please. Okay, so the young people group will happen over there.